Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogbelt333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, 1000 Week Reich as the Russian People's Liberation Army. Now, in the last video, we took out the Reich Commissariat, Moscovian, and we're working on consolidating the rest of our power, primarily fighting the Association with Freed and the Moscow Red Army. I'm going to go ahead and do a gradual burn real quick. We're slowly advancing, tearing through German armies, and slowly connecting our once loosely organized groups. We'll win this war. Long live the Russian Liberation Army. I'm decently happy with how we've been doing approach-wise, actually. We just got to clear out these last little pockets of resistance, and we got the Association of the Free done. Gonna be a bit more of a pain for these guys, I think. But we'll get there and finish it up soon enough, I think. I have faith. Slovenian Declaration. Good luck with that. The Benelux are trying to rise up. We're getting some nice new troops as well, so we'll go ahead, deploy these boys. And let's go ahead and get Mikhail Meandrov into power. And where do we want to send you? We'll do a front line with these two guys there. Get infantry expert for all these guys. Gonna get some decent army experience so we can get working on doctrines as well. Then from here, it's really a matter... Got a bit of an encirclement, but managed to break out of that pretty easily. Let's see if we can't take out Vitegra. And then we have one last offensive. We are on the lead. We must finish off the enemies of People's Army. The last enemies of Russia must be crushed. We bear our last push with everything we can. Death to the German invader and death to communism. Actually finish that immediately. And now we gotta wait for focuses. So we'll get a little bit extra political power, which I believe will actually allow us to get nice and ready to go into these territories soon. And I think... Oh, that's just these guys. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Good luck with that. These two little uprisings, we're about to take out your main. What happened in other parts of former USSR? Let's scroll out a little bit. Ukraine is the only one that's looking good for the Germans. These guys are still fighting each other. Conflict over here. Kazakhs are actually... They look like they're doing okay. And of course, we've now consolidated our control, which is fantastic. And now the guns settle. After much suffering, after rivers of Russian blood being spilt, we have done it. We have defeated both the communist partisans and the German Reich Commissariat armies. It's time for us to rebuild. Our campaign has only just begun. Against all odds, the Russian people have stood up against the communist devils and the totalitarian Germans. While many see us as mere turncoats that worked with the late Adolf Hitler, many appear to just be thankful that the years of partisan warfare and our second-class treatment at the hands of the Nazis are finally over. Our job, however, is not far from over, as many within our army and government are not yet fully on board with Marshal Bunyachenko's vision. Forward. Who's in USSR, Russian Republic? Let's take a gander. Suslov there, Vasov there. Khrushchev versus Zhukov still. Sorokin there. Still doing a transitional regime there, so we'll see what happens. I think... Sitting in their offices, the division commanders flipped through the names of their officers, sergeant, colonels, but also soldiers, as after the successful revolt had brought their faction to power. Now they are left with the reorganization of the state. Looking at the paper, the first commander said briefly, "Do you notice anything strange about these officers?" pointing to several names. "Is there a problem?" The question of another commander followed, who drank as part of the victory, passing the bottle to the third and last commander. "Are those..." He began to hiccup and get drunk. "Monarchists?" He managed to finish the sentence while the commander nodded, pumping doubts to the third commander about their loyalty. Have they made any trouble so far? I don't think so. I'd even say they fought well, but soon after the revolt, they decided not to follow any orders. The other commander thought about it, began to search for possible scenarios that were running through his head. "Do you think what I think?" "What are you talking about?" Suddenly the first commander, unprepared for this question, grabbed his glass slowly and took a sip. "Monarchists are a very strange kind of people, especially when armed. Do you think that they're preparing for something drastic?" "You don't think that. They're planning for something big." Running through the halls of the Central Command, the officer was ordered to inform his superiors as soon as possible, carrying a report confirming the real suspicion that the mass desertion was being prepared in RNNA monarchist circles, threat to even remove Sergei Bunyachenko from the current government. He didn't have time to knock on the door when he burst into the office, frightening everyone in sight. "What's this about? What's the reason for this intrusion?" His superior asked angrily. The officer did not have time to think about it, but handed a report over to him. "What is this?" "Desertion within monarchist circles," he said wearily, trying to catch his breath. Reading carefully, he read it again and again to see if it was actually true. He'd crumpled the report angrily and threw it in the bin, running his hands nervously about his face, thinking about what to do at the moment. "What just happened?" he was asked by a man with whom he had talked about until recently, about the victory that followed the revolt. "We have a problem," he said, briefly grabbing the phone next to him. "What are you looking at me for? Speak! What do I say when I don't have all the necessary information? Fucking monarchists are threatening to secede from the army and launch a new coup, damn it." He didn't have time to think. The phone call was certainly already alarming others in their army. "Hello, Central Command?" "Yes. Just got a report on the RNN ranks and it's extremely worrying. Can we solve the situation somehow?" I'm going to save the game here, because I don't entirely know what you want to do, but I think it's Ivanov had an agreement with us, stand down. And there we go. We address all the residents of Moscow. We have stormed the Central Command of the High Command and arrested all the traitors of the Russian nation. The time of republicanism is now over, and we can begin anew. The first formal act after our takeover, of course, will be the stabilization of Moscow, and then the pacification of all the territories currently under our control. After that, we will turn to further stabilization of our country by returning to the old Russian traditions that have accompanied us for centuries. Martial law will be introduced from today until the end of the state of emergency. We ask all citizens of Moscow to abide by these rules. This is the RNNA command staff signing off. RMD.8.B. Anti-revolutionary revolution. Here we are, Sergei Ivanov, who does not have a description. We are revolutionaries, that is, revolutionaries against revolution. Ever since 1922, the people of Russia have suffered from brutal oppression and corruption under the Bolshevik regime. Our army shall march through Russia in a crusade against corrupt republicanism and degenerate socialism. Let's go ahead and execute righteous terror. There is a heavy opposition to our state inside our borders. Bolsheviks, Germans, the insufferable bastard Kaminsky, and the leftovers of his cowardly army, among others, shall start a campaign of terror against our eternal enemies. No one shall question the true authority of Russia. How many troops do these guys have? 1 to 3. Ooh. Man, we lost a lot of generals. Okay. So let's work on Sergei Ivanov and Vladimir Boyarsky. I didn't realize we'd lose all of those generals. It is a little rough. I'll give you benefits from assaulting Moscow. Feels kind of bad, but we'll wait until this gets settled before we go after Novgorod. Well, that is probably the juicier one. We'll work right now on invading Arkhangelsk. People's... Yep. Actually, didn't take as long as I thought it would. So, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it is taking a bit of a while. Himmler removed. Strange. Just taking a look at what we do. I'm obviously going to go for this because we need the research slot. Let's go ahead and look at what was left behind. The utter collapse of Moscovian administration left us with both bad and good things. One of the latter is the industry. The West Russian urban centers hold enormous industrial neighborhoods. We shall utilize them properly, but first we'll need to streamline these means of industrial production. We need that extra research slot. There's no arguing that. Just kind of rush through. It's taking a bit longer than it should. Probably just have them fall back, let them lose their entrenchment, but also not in a huge rush because Germany is still dealing with a civil war and we need to get a little bit extra political power anyway. So to reorganize the outdated industry. The West Russian industry is 10 years behind the rest of the developed world. Nevertheless, it's going to be necessary for our cause to maintain it running. We'll reorganize these leftovers into something worthy of being called an economy. It will be a foundation of a proud Russian industry. Let's work on research tech. We need to get our research speed up as high as we can. Feels bad for the Swiss. Oh. Britain stands victorious in Malaya. Let's go ahead and get those guys. That guy added there. Do a front line in there. More military factories. Let's get more rifles going. Then from here, return of recognize the KONR. That Bunichenko's Republican goons really thought they could professionally direct an army. Shall prove them wrong. The army will go through a heavy restructuring process. Reorganizing, not recognizing. I think I might have said recognizing. Just grind them out. Iraqi oil's been nationalized. That won't be controversial at all, I'm sure. As we move further towards Tsarist restoration, it's time we brought back some of the old institutions of the Russian Empire, most notably Vizemsky Sobor, an old legislative body dating back to Ivan the Terrible in the 16th century. The Tsars had always come to rely on Vizemsky Sobor for advice from the nobles and clergy for the decision-making of the empire. If we seek to make the old system work in the modern era, it will have to change. The new Tsar will have little in the way of actual authority over his vast realm, leaving RNNA officials to govern on his behalf. The Tsar will still be required to sign new laws into effect, however, there is nothing to stop Ivanov's allies from forcing him to do it, despite any objections the Tsar might have. Sobor, therefore, will act on the Tsar's wishes, however vague it may be, or however it may be interpreted. Excellent. So it's not really a monarchy. It's a dictatorship with monarchist facade. See, republicanism got us nothing but corruption and decay. Those valves stoke degenerate puppets and bloodthirsty perm communists restoring the Russian nation. As monarchists remain enemies of Russian republicanism, the Tsar's army shall slay the enemies of Holy Russia. And there we go. Take that out. Front line to there. That's not a faction. I don't know why I covered both of them. Oh, that's only against Novgorod, actually. So we'll prepare an offensive line to there. It's kind of like Horthy's Hungary. Kinda, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a decent comparison. Hydric, how'd you get over here, bro? More research. Tech. Get these guys all situated. And then invade Novgorod. Treaty of Honolulu. Japan is no longer not a nation. I don't like the perpetual, but I mean, we've got about all the political power we need to take out Novgorod and St. Petersburg. So I'll actually go ahead and do perpetual state of emergency. We'll declare a martial law. Curfew enacting law, we can't ensure a state of emergency. This will give our government extraordinary powers to act against the enemies of Russia properly. Can't move the guy into Novgorod. A little annoying, but get them encircled. Swarovski declared general region. Does Poland have content? I forget. They do. Poland might be fun to play. I'll finish up this war, and then I'll end the video. Which we should have most of the, Ooh! Well, that's interesting. Didn't fully, properly realize that would be the case. It's good to know that, we are at war with, Belarus as well. Hey, that's the guy with the, isn't that generic portrait man? That's funny. Let's do Fortress Buster. Ivanov. I wonder if we can just take Minsk. Just do a focus real quick. Also, crusade against hunger. Collapse of the Reich Commissar has left hundreds of thousands in a precarious situation. Famine is spread across the country. Those who haven't succumbed are still suffering greatly. We shall enact rationing of bread, meat, and other foods to ensure that everyone's hunger can be quelled. Poland content pog. Truly. Truly. And Golan War. Fine Gael is elected. Now, next let's do Restorationist Promises. It's our promise to preserve the Tsar's throne, for by God he is the true and only ruler of Russia. We shall start a campaign of restorationist propaganda among the citizenry in every city, town, and village. The wars will be heard. Long live the Tsar. And that's that then. Beautiful. So we directly border the Reich now, which is a little spooky, but they're also kind of distracted, so I'm not too worried about that. And even if I was, we'd have to wait until next time to really worry about it, so we'll just wait until next time. So thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you want to see more of this content feature, hit the sub button for uploads weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. Comments, feedback, and any concerns can be left in the comment section below. I read all comments again, appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. If you want to chat, play games, anything of that sort, check out my Discord, check out my Patreon if you want to send bucks my way, check out my Twitch if you want to see me do this sort of stuff live, and if you want to see me do non-gaming related content, I have a second channel. All those down in the description box below. That's really it for now, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been Mr. Dogbelt333. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.